So welcome to race 3A with Tom Roach, Brett Smith, the front row of the grid, James Blake Baldwin and Alex Preston in the second row, Henderson and Ed Gay, then Will Blackwell Chambers and Simon Goddard. 9th for Simon Baldwin and 10th for Charlie Charman. 11th for Daniel Rogers and Gigi Clements is 12th. Matt Robinson and Callum Edwards are 13th and 14th. We just saw good racing from them a minute ago. And Stephen Craggs and Scott Leach with Chris Hart in 17th. And here we go, green flag at the back of the grid, dry Cadwell Park. We're about to go racing, and let's see, can Roach convert this one into a first corner lead? All eyes on the cars on the grid, and away we go. You see the back of them sink down, the front lifts up, and we power down towards Coppice Corner for the first time, and Roach looks like he's just edging ahead as we come down towards the first corner. Everybody battling for the little bit of ground, side by side round we go, and we're on with Alex Preston. That's Blake Baldwin up the inside of us. Bit of care for Alex Preston on the inside there, and it's still so close. Tom Roach trying to fight this round the outside edge, but it's not to be. It is just not to be. Brett Smith leads, and look at James Blake Baldwin get a good run on Alex Preston. Preston picks up a bit of good speed mid-park straight, and he gets past, gives him a thumbs up on the way past. Bright, maybe that's a little bit let's work together thumbs up. But Brett Smith from Tom Roach, Alex Preston and James Blake Baldwin. You can see the speed of these cars now. We have a dry circuit. It is pretty quick as we come through towards the gooseneck. We're on board with Alex Preston. And we just listen to that car, and we see him really close in on Tom Roach there. Tom Roach is going to have to watch out. He's going to defend here. Roach goes a little bit defensive, but not too much, as we come through Mansfield Corner, and then we head towards the bottom of the mountain. So pretty sensational opening lap here at Cadwell Park for the MX-5 Championship. Here we're at the mountain. Look how close James Blake Baldwin is. Somebody's hit the floppy there. Blake Baldwin's thinking about having to move on Preston as we come up to go into the Hall Bend section. Surely not. No, it's not to be. Preston cuts across the nose of him. And at the front, these other two pulling away. Alan Henderson trying to get involved in this, as is Ed Gay. Now, Ed Gay has been a little bit off radar this weekend so far. So let's see if we can get a little bit of a wriggle on and get up towards the front end of this one. Now we've got a dry track. The pace is pretty hot round here at Cadwell Park. Brett Smith leads the way from Tom Roach, Alex Preston, James Blake Baldwin, Alan Henderson, Ed Gay. Then it's Simon Goddard. Charlie Charman just flashes through as well. And we're on board again with Alex Preston, who's given us some fantastic onboard footage here. Right out towards the white line, the car's bucking and ruining through that little section there. Right up the revs there. What's he saying there? Is he saying pass me, or is he saying get in the slipstream? Look at his wing mirror on the left hand side. That is James Blake Baldwin. Look at that, folks. You could not get any closer. Blake Baldwin has a little look up the inside as he coming towards Park Corner, and he's through, and that hasn't compromised either of those drivers. They haven't lost speed or time there, so good move by James Blake Baldwin. He was very, very forceful there. He wants to get back up towards the front. We saw him defeat Tom Roach, the dominant Tom Roach. His 100% run record went out the window earlier on when James Blake Baldwin beat him fair and square, but in the rain it was all about Tom Roach. Now it's dry. Who has got the out and out pace for this one? This is going to be an interesting race, as Tom Roach is having to watch out now because Brett Smith's pulling away. James Blake Baldwin all over the back of Tom Roach as we're coming towards the mountain section. Quick left over the little crest, back into a dip, and then right and over the hill we go. Brett Smith in towards the lovely flowing series of left and rights over little crests. The car does tend to get a little bit airborne there, or very light. The camera angle we're seeing it from makes it look quite flat, but it's actually very hilly. So we come onto the main straight through Barn Corner, and here we go. Clicking off another lap as Brett Smith adjusts his wing mirror and gives his pit crew a little bit of a wave. How cool is that man in that blue 39, honestly. Takes his hand off and adjusts the mirror. Through Coppice they go, absolutely flat stick through there, and again we go on board with Preston. These are good camera shots for Alex Preston. Watching a young up and coming driver fighting a Mazda MX-5 at great speed. Now look at James Blake Baldwin. He is all over the back. He's got good race pace today, James Blake Baldwin. Is he going to have a shot at Roche in towards Park Corner? Oh, Roche is on the grass. What happened there? Just out of our camera shot. Something happened. Brett Smith still leads Tom Roche second, James Blake Baldwin in third place, but there might have been a bit of contact, there might not have been contact, but just out of our camera view something was going on. We're now on board with Preston and he's right back up with James Blake Baldwin. A little bit of curb, down a gear, bit of curb there through the gooseneck, and they're all slowing each other up now. Where are they going to go? Everybody's going defensive. Preston tries to go around the outside, he's going to have to watch, he doesn't run out the road, he does. Preston runs out the road, he's on the grass, no! Alex Preston spins. Absolute disaster for the young man in the yellow number 32. He just positioned himself unfortunately on the wrong side and he ran out the road pretty quickly in the run down to Mansfield there. Wasn't any malicious driving from James Blake Baldwin, just Preston was in the wrong place at the wrong time. That is a great shame for him. So, back up at the front of it, Brett Smith, Tom Roche, and there we, down through Barn Corner we come. Got to be absolutely spot on as you come back onto the main straight here. And cross the start line for yet another lap in towards Coppice Corner. Now, I don't believe we're going to be going on board with Alex Preston this time. Pick back up with this 4-car train as they dive down the Park Straight up towards Park Corner. Brett Smith is now defending pretty heavily from Tom Roche. Tom Roche is thinking about it. James Blake Baldwin waving Alan Henderson past there. Or was he giving him a little move over sign? Through they go, these guys all together. And Ed Gay, hello, about time too. Ed Gay has made his way towards the front battle as well. Brett Smith seems to have either slowed his pace up a little bit. Oh, Tom Roche is on the grass. He just managed to hold that together through the gooseneck. Very, very close to disaster. Is he going to be slow to Mansfield and towards the bottom of the mountain? No, he's actually okay. But look, Simon Goddard also on the back of this boat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 MX-5s and Charlie Charman, the next car on the road. So this is an absolutely titanic MX-5 parked at Cadwell Park. What we have got today, through the Hall bends they come. What's the different styles of driving as some people hit curbs hard, some people just dance around the edges of the curbs. I mean, some people can't see the curbs because they're actually underneath the inside of their car. Into the barn section, there's Ed Gay. White car, behind him Simon Goddard, the red car, number 46. Gay just drops a wheel off there as he comes through. But clicking off another lap. James Blake Baldwin is in a rush. He's in third place just now and he is in a bit of a hurry to get towards the front as they go underneath the footbridge. Charlie Charman holds it absolutely flat through the first corner there. And we enjoy that little bit of driving style with Charlie Charman there. Brilliant stuff, getting to hear the engine revving away inside that car. And Charman is on a bit of a charge. Henderson looking for some position manoeuvring here. Tom Roche thinking about the lead. James Blake Baldwin thinks about having Roche for second place. Meanwhile, Brett Smith has beads of sweat running down the end of his nose and through his eyes possibly, because this is a tough battle for him to control at the front. He's got very, very fast men behind him and everybody's using a little bit too much grass as they come through there. Smith defends as they come into Mansfield. Everybody runs very hot into Mansfield. Nobody hotter than Roche though. Now Roche is going to lose 2 places if he doesn't watch here, because there may be 3. Blake Baldwin's past him. Henderson is on the inside of him. Ed Gay is right behind them. What's going to happen here? This could be a little bit messy as they come through the mountain, but thankfully everybody holds it together. Alan Henderson gets the bad end of that stick as they come through there. Bounces a little bit wide and loses a position to Simon Goddard. And so did Ed Gay. No, Ed Gay's ahead of that, sorry. That's Charlie Charman. Getting just that little bit too excited now in the commentary box here. So poor old Alan Henderson in the number 90 car won't be a happy body with that one. But that's let Brett Smith off the leash a little bit. And it's given him a nice little bit of breathing space. Now, how long is it going to take James Blake Baldwin to reel in our race leader? That is the question. Charlie Charman thinking about trying to make manoeuvres as well up towards the back of this battling pack at the front. That's Baldwin and Blake Chambers there, as we see them going down the park straight up towards Park Corner, back at the front. Smith leads from Blake Chambers, from Roach, from Gay, there we go, from Goddard and Henderson. So Ed Gay has obviously been listening and he's heard us saying he's needing to get a bit of a move on, and he has, as they come round towards the gooseneck. Thankfully not using too much grass this time. The stewards will be watching for that, I can guarantee you. 48 and 43 glued together, two blue cars. Baldwin and Blackwell Chambers, they've been together basically all weekend as well whenever they've been racing. Fairly familiar lap times and race paces. And there, is this Alex Preston? It is. This isn't over and done with for Alex Preston yet. Yeah, unfortunately he did have a bit of a spin earlier on. Uncharacteristic move for young Preston. But right now he sits in 10th position. So, definitely doable. Definitely doable. He could make up some places yet. There's still plenty of this race left to run. As you see the guys coming through Barn Corner onto the main straight. Let's check with the leaders and see what the gap is now. They'll flash past us. Is there any advances from James Blake Baldwin to Brett Smith at the front? Is he bringing Tom Roach along with him? As we go on board with Charlie Charman. That's a nice view for Charlie to see. Nobody right on his back bumper. And that's not too bad a view at the front as well, although a few less Mazda MX-5s would be pretty nice. As he comes down the park straight. And yes, look at this, James Blake Baldwin has caught right up with Brett Smith now. So that lead is basic, well the lead is nothing, he's pushing him through Park Corner there, the bumper to bumper stuff for these two blue MX-5s. Almost the same shade of blue, so there won't be too much in the way of touching up needing done there after the race as they come down through the gooseneck towards Mansfield at the bottom of the hill. Brett Smith is under all sorts of pressure from somebody who must be thought of as the man of the meeting so far. He has been the quickest man in both dry races and unfortunately just lost out to Tom Roach and young Preston in the wet race that he was in over the mountain. Very iconic bit of track. Then Tom Roach and Ed Gay, look at that, with Simon Goddard and Henderson still tied together as they come through Hall Bends. Just hear the little cars absolutely revving coming through there. Not much in the way of runoff as you come in towards the barn area. Cracking bit of the track. Unfortunately the camber drops away from me there. It's dropping away all the time as you come down the hill. But James Blake Baldwin now in a perfect place for a slipstream along the main straight. As we click off another lap here, is he going to have some sort of manoeuvre? Where is it going to happen? Because Brett Smith seems to have slowed up his race pace. And here comes Tom Roach back into the action now. Charlie Charman, the number 42 car, takes us up the hill towards Park Corner. Brett Smith defending very heavily from James Blake Baldwin. Now look at that, Ed Gay's right in towards this one, and Simon Goddard and Henderson was looking up the inside of Goddard. Did he make that stick as we come round towards the gooseneck? We'll probably find out on the exit off the corner if that managed to work. For it in the background, no it didn't. He's right there. Goddard obviously had a bit of a fight in his hand now. Look at this, Roach, oh that was incredibly close with Roach and Ed Gay there. Roach just wiped the nose off that number 14 white MX-5. The Blendini green will surely be in the front bumper of that number 14 as Roach is now looking a little bit wild. Something I never thought I would hear myself say about Tom Roach. He's just driving so hard to try and keep up with this race pace. This is very hot stuff today. As you come through Barn Corner, clicking off another lap, and across the start finish we go. Smith, Blake Baldwin, Roach, Gay, Goddard and Henderson with Charman just off the back. I'm not far off the back. Charlie Charman's camera makes it look a little bit further than he actually is here as we come through Charlie's corner. Down a gear, turns it in, gets on the gas next to the and manages to hold the power on all the way through. There was no lift in the throttle there. That's good. You'll be happy with that one. Every time you lift, it's almost a tenth of a second, isn't it? Up towards the top of Park Straight and the Park corner at the top. And look at that, it looked like Henderson was having a go and then inside of Goddard again as they come up towards the side of the track. Now has he got it? No, he hasn't. Everybody just fanning out and thinking about having an overtaking manoeuvre. But it's not to be. Oh, and there's a change at the front. That must have happened just out of our shot. That's Blake Baldwin. And he's got ahead and he now leads Brett Smith. So I must have been looking at the wrong battle here, or I must have missed that. And look at the battle for second place because Ed Gay's alongside. As it come into the mountain, Roach is fighting it out. He's going to try and stay wide. No, it's not to be. Cuts across the grass at the bottom of the mountain, but he holds his position. And Goddard gets involved as well. Good grief, there's MX-5s going absolutely everywhere as it comes to Hall Bends. Henderson's the big winner. Oh, there's a bit of contact there. This is Charlie Charman we're on board with. He's also got past the Blink Motorsport car of Simon Goddard, and good grief. Big intake of breath in the commentary box. Tom Roach did not want to let that go. He tried to fight off round the bottom of the mountain through the left and unfortunately got put across the grass, and then that sparked it all off. Henderson saw a gap, Goddard went for the gap, Goddard didn't get the gap. Charman, huge opportunistic move by Charlie Charman, and he took that. Look at this, Goddard's obviously slow going towards Coppice, and he's now under threat from what looks like that would be, let me think about that one, Baldwin and Blackwell Chambers. I think that was going past him. So let's just draw a breath and look at this now. We've got Blake Baldwin leading from Brett Smith, Ed Gay still in that huge titanic fight with Tom Roach and Alan Henderson as they come up towards Park Corner. Henderson looking up the inside of Gay. Gay says no, he tries to hang on round the outside edge. Roach gives him just enough room as Henderson alongside him as they come towards the gooseneck. He's on the inside, but you have to see the line favours the white car on the left. Ed Gay, what's going to happen here? Grandstand view. No, Henderson takes it. Henderson goes through on the inside. Gay was not willing to force that just as much as other drivers would, and possibly that was a better thing for Ed Gay to have done there. Henderson now thinking about Tom Roach. Tom Roach will be now thinking, please no, I've had enough of this. The two leaders have disappeared because this is such a big battle for the final step on the podium. As through they come. Through the mountain, no shenanigans this time. The mountain, you actually over it and turn right as you go over it. It's not an actual straight bit of road. Almost dropping a wheel off his Ed Gay there as they go through Hall Bends. There's not a lot of room through there to make an error, and it looked like he was going to drop a wheel off on the entrance to the first part of Hall Bends. So kudos to that man, fair play. Knows the width of his MX-5, and Alan Henderson now, extremely racy Alan Henderson in the number 90, right up the back bumper of that number 1 Blendini Motorsport car. And it's been a while since we've seen this, the first two meetings of the year. Mr. 100% Tom Roach, he was all over it at Rockingham, he was all over it at Crofts, and we come to Cadwell Park, and the boys are starting to get into their stride and their swing of things, and nobody more than James Blake Baldwin, who at the top of the Park Straight leads race number 3A from Brett Smith. 6 races in total this weekend for the MX-5, and this has by far and away been the best one we have seen. Through the gooseneck comes Brett Smith there, getting a little bit greedy with his grass intake as Brett Smith there. Thankfully it's dry, otherwise that would have him a bit of a loose missile down towards Mansfield Corner on that grass. There he goes, over the mountain. James Blake Baldwin was actually passing people here in the first race of the weekend. He was getting good drive through that mountain section. And look at this, Roche still got Henderson, Gay, Charman and Alex Preston. Where did Alex Preston come from? Well, he done a 360 at Mansfield earlier on. He's recovered extremely well, and he's got up to the back of Charlie Charman. Good drive, Alex Preston. Very good recovery drive. But here it comes. It's going to be James Blake Baldwin who takes a very classy win. I thought he was going to high-five his mechanic on the way past. Second place for Brett Smith, and Tom Roach holds on. How did Tom Roach hold on for that third place? Because Henderson, Gay, Charman and Preston all looked like they had better race pace than him. Fastest lap of the race goes to James Blake Baldwin with a 46.9. The only man in the 1 minute 46s throughout that race, so well done James Blake Baldwin. He had to fight for it. He come through an extremely tough battle there. And Brett Smith, you can hold your head high as well. A very good race for him. The two blue cars showing their class and showing their speed at the front of the pack. Great stuff. So the results for 3A sees James Blake Baldwin win from Brett Smith, and Tom Roach rounds out the podium. Alan Henderson, Ed Gay and Charlie Charman, the recovering Alex Preston up to 7th place, with Simon Baldwin, Will Blackwell Chambers and Jonathan Clements. CJ Clements round out the top 10.